All right, guys, welcome back. We got another small block Ford nasty video for you today. We got Chase in the house.
What's up?
He's a junior executive small block Ford captain. So he's got a lot of names, junior executive small block Ford captain, but he's head of the 8.2 deck part of small block. Yeah, he's got
the little deck.
Yes, he's got the little deck, and the rest of us have the big deck. I actually am not part of this deck party. I just took the LS stuff, but hey, you know, to each his own. So last time we talked about the small block Ford stuff, we talked about head studs. Pretty much the whole purpose of the video is like, oh, why isn't it together? Well, the head studs. Head studs. We also ran into some other issues, like Matt just mentioned, the port alignment that, you know, he was talking about how some people port them differently, and, you know, we had two identical sets of heads that were ported by two different people, and like one port was here and the other port was like here. So they're just thrown way off, and the intake wasn't going to work. Have to buy a new intake, different spacers. Like, it was an absolute nightmare. So here's the motor right now. It's sitting right here. A little bit more deconstructed than last time.
Where did the cam go?
Cam is out of it.
Why would the cam be out of it?
So the reason that the cam is out of it is we are switching applications. Still sticking with the 9.5 deck, and the cam's right here. 55mm cam core. You LS guys are like, what the hell is this? This is actually your ring gear. This is where you drive your rear end off of. Now, this is for the distributor or the cam sync for people that are not in 1986.
Hey, what?
Making a cam swap with a whole nother motor. So if we walk in the other room here, we'll show you guys this new motor.
We had a problem with getting head studs, so we're like, you know what, just build another one.
Couldn't get the head studs. I think talked to the people at Turn today, and they still didn't have the head studs. So we were like, hey, Turbo Bullet, found a motor right down the road, hour and a half away. Great buy, and one of those deals where we're like, hey, is everything going to match up? We talked about the ports on the intake. Well, this one came with an intake, so we don't have to worry about that. But the exhaust ports, are they going to match up? And we just decided to take the risk and see what happens. And this is what we got. So this was originally a Bennett
430-inch.
430-inch small block Ford.
Fontana block.
This is the same block. Well, we can take the studs out of this and put the other one together, and we'll be good to go.
Yeah, that's what we need to do.
We'll just be good to go. So, Fontana block, cast head deal. It's got a billet intake on it, and it came with a bunch of stuff. So, as you guys see this, it had a blower drive on there. So, it came with an F1X12 blower, which is similar to the F1X that I got, but it's much bigger. So, it came with a brand new Procharger blower bracket. It had the RCD, ABC. EFG? RCD. Had the RCD fuel pump drive off the side of it, which is like almost $1,000 there. Had a vacuum pump on it as well, and it just came like a bunch of stuff. Fuel pump, oil pump.
Mag 44.
Mag 44. Already has an oil pan heater in it. Came with a set of 575 billet atomizers, and this intake, like I said, it's a billet. Who makes this intake? Even know? I don't even know. It's a billet intake.
Might be a Thompson.
Speedmaster.
Speedmaster. So it came with some dummies. So right now we'll probably run it with just one set of 700s in there because we're not going to make that much power. But luckily the exhaust ports match the Neil 202 heads that we had.
Yeah, very similar cylinder head. So luckily, you know, it's got the cross bolt design.
So all right, well, I'm gonna hold the camera. Listen, that's all. That's small block Ford nasty. That's all my brain capacity can hold because I'm an LS guy. We'll let Matt talk about it because Matt knows small block Ford stuff way better than I do, and he can go over a couple of different features that this thing has. Yeah, your mullet's looking great.
Good.
Go ahead.
Mullet check. Talking about small block Ford, gotta do a mullet check.
Yep.
So basic engine, you know, you have your crankshaft, your camshaft, cylinder heads, block. Small block Ford.
Distributor in the front?
Distributor in the front, party in the back. No, this engine, it's a good deal. It's going to be a lot better for what we're going to do, I think. We're really going to be able to lay the coals to this one and not have to worry about any kind of parts failures. It's got a lot of good parts. It came from Bennett. TKM's gone through it. Like, it's got all the good stuff that we need to go fast. The intake will definitely help. It's got a Wilson 5-inch inlet on the throttle body, so no issues with airflow. It's got a good billet crank, aluminum rod, all the good stuff. Fontana block, very good block. Good cylinder head. Got rockers. I mean, it came with a bunch of extra parts. Came with a Mag 44. Mag 44 is good. I mean, that's some serious spark. The MSD 600 and the Mag 44 is kind of a you know, they're kind of duking it out right now. Some people say the mag's better. Some people say the MSD 600 CDI style is better.
I call them the lightning box.
Yeah, I mean, you got, you know, Stevie Fast running them. I mean, you have some advantages over the Mag 44, because Mag 44 is still going to run a distributor style, so your rotor phasing everything, you can only retard the timing so much. Like, there's a lot of things because this thing's still firing off of this rotor, so when you're leading or retarding or advancing your timing, you're changing that in your rotor phasing, and you can't turn the distributor wire going down the track. With CDI on coil on plug style or coil near plug, you have the perfect rotor phasing all the time. So I think it's better. Maybe mag's a little bit harder, but we're probably going to sell the mag because we got the MSD 600.
With methanol, not soup, like with what we're doing, we're not, I mean, you can run on a smart coil.
Yeah, smart coils. I mean, the IGN 1A smart coils with a good harness, a good power wire, you know, no thin power wire, with a pretty good amount of dwell, you know, 6-7 millisecond of dwell, they'll go really far. Like a smart coil, don't think you're out there like, man, I gotta have a MSD 600 to make 1500. Like, you can push the smart coils very far. In fact, I'm gonna see exactly how far you can push smart coils on MK Ultra with the turbo deal. So I got an MSD 600 if we need it, put it on there, but I'm curious to see how far we can go with the smart coils, IGN 1A Mercury Marines. But yeah, this thing, it's got all the good stuff. If you notice, it's got some oil lines running to the valve covers. Some of you guys probably haven't seen that. That's spring oilers. So inside the valve cover, which we'll show you this once we take the valve covers off. There's spray bars in there, and it oils the springs and the rockers and the whole valve train and everything. So you can really reduce the flow to the top end and spray it exactly where you want to, instead of it just lubricating through the push rod hole and then just kind of splash lubricating everywhere. It's got a ATI balancer. It's got a flex plate. It came with a bunch of parts. It came with the blower.
Oh, this is the blower here. I haven't seen it. We got to pull the duct tape off of it.
You can tell it's been set for a while. I mean, this thing's...
But it is brand spanking new. We need to talk about me taking this from Chris and putting it on the Blizzard instead of the F1X.
Ooh. Yeah, that would be
then we would have a hot rod.
Yeah, we have a certified hot rod. Here's the driver we're talking about.
This is honestly dead ass. This is the only reason why I want this blower in this bracket, because this is so easy and so simple.
Yep. So it's got an internal drive in here, and that's what is driving this belt right here. So this is kind of what we're going to be doing with the Blizzard, but we don't have any of this stuff. So we're going to hang it off the motor plate and drive it off there. This is what I was talking about, the mandrel. So there is a drive on there that's up here, but it's after the gear reduction unit. So we don't want to be spinning
It's this one right here.
Yeah.
This one spins at whatever the blower speed would spin. This one spins at the crank.
So, you know, any of your drive stuff, you know, usually it's 2 to 1. So if you're, you know, some of the stuff you can spin a little bit higher. You know, if it's 4,000 RPM on your drive, you know, your engine's turning 8,000. So if you're turning 9, you can turn it a little bit higher. Some stuff like our fuel pump, you know, that 4,000 is about the limit. Some fuel pumps like we went to, twin spur gear, they can handle a little bit more RPM. Twin spur gear oil pump can handle a little bit more. But yeah, this came with everything. It's got a vacuum pump here. I mean, this thing was set up to run just about everything. It's got it's set up for external wet sump. So you have your oil outlet right here from your pan going to your external wet sump, and then that's going to feed into the motor right here at the oil filter housing.
So yeah, it's it's already got a bung here if you do want to run a turbo.
Yep.
Return.
And it's set up for I think the block's fully filled. The heads are still set up to run water through them, but we're not going to be running any water. I mean, I guess we could if we wanted to, like, if we had to do a street car cruise, we could just run water through the heads, oil cooler.
All steel glass.
Yeah, all steel glass.
But the big thing is, this thing is, as you can see, intake to oil pan ready to go. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to switch camshafts. This one has a blower cam in there, so we're going to pull that out, put the turbo cam out of the other motor in here, and then we're going to stick it in the car. And we're going to see how far off, you know, the headers bolt up, but is the port higher, lower, further back, further forward? So we're not quite sure if the turbo kit's going to fit up there.
Yeah, the headers themselves will fit. The hot side crossover is going to be our issue. So hopefully we can probably mock them up on here, honestly, and then get some measurements and at least even see like our width, like outside to outside on the V-band flange. If it's close and we're good, if it's not, then we know we're going to have to redo the hot side. So doing that, and then also we got some other stuff going on.
Ben, what do you have to say about the small block Ford?
I think we
upgraded.
I think we got a good deal on this time.
Yeah.
Before, I mean, you know, being the good, it's nice to be able to think people are honest and they're gonna get, you know, what they're telling you is what's there. It's not always the case, but this guy is I think a pretty stand-up guy. I think he would take the hit himself before he'd let somebody else.
Yeah, this motor was just gone through by TCAM Performance, got all the paperwork, and was gone through by Bennett before then, so we know it's a good solid stuff, bunch of really good parts.
Clean bill of health.
Yeah, clean bill of health. The last one, we can blame Logan because he was there, and Logan said it had the clean bill of health, and it died on the table instantly as soon as we brought it back.
Yeah, it's terminal.
We just like to blame Logan. He's not here to stick up for himself, so it's our favorite time to get a punch in with him. Over here on the LS Nasty side of things, we got our converter getting torn apart here.
Yep.
We are, you know what? I misspoke. I said that these King certs, they're terrible, and you can't get them out, and I said that in a video, and I have one in my hand right here. Matt drilled it out. We were able to get them out. We got new ones on the way. I posted this converter up for sale. I said these were damaged, and if anyone wants to buy it, I have it put up there for a pretty good price. OBO. No one said anything, so I'm like, you know what? Screw it. We'll fix it ourselves, and we'll keep it. So we got a huge converter on the way. I'm gonna need a converter for no prep and for radials. So I got my no prep converter already done. I was gonna just get weld together no prep converter and save a little money, but now it looks like I'm gonna have bolt together for the no prep and for the radial stuff. So it's fine by me. Can't have too many parts, especially if we get another car. If I swap that other transmission, if we're running on nitro in the other car,
you can have too many converters.
Yeah, converters are a good thing to have. So we'll do a whole nother video talking about the Black Sheep upgrades and everything we got going on in tomorrow's video. But there's your small block Ford Nasty update. The Bad Apple gets a new heart. I know you guys wanted to see the world record fastest China Speedmaster block, but you guys are gonna have to wait until we find something else to put it in. But for now, you guys are gonna see this.
That's it. Backup motor for Slick Rick.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
The Speedmaster backup motor for Slick Rick. So, yeah. Well, a little bit of talk in this video, but we got to keep you guys updated with the changes we got going on. We got a new bullet that is drop-in ready for the Bad Apple. So when it comes together, I mean, obviously we're gonna have to make some configuration changes, but if all the stars line, everything bolts up good, we could have a hot rod running here very shortly.
Yep. And it wasn't like, oh, we'll just go buy this motor because we can't get head studs in time.
We've been talking to this guy.
Yeah, we've been talking, and the Speedmaster block and everything, that motor will run good, but the downtime that we would have if we really lean on it and hurt the motor, it would be a lot longer than if we just go with this from the, because we're not gonna,
this thing came with so many other parts.
It's a good deal, and I don't think we're gonna, that, especially the turbo we're running, it's not gonna hurt that engine. So we can go out there and we can race, and we're trying to get to where we're reliable. We don't want to go out and race and then work on it all week. We want to go out and race, come back, leave the thing in the trailer, and then just hook up to the trailer and go to the track next weekend, without having to do anything. And starting off with this engine will allow us to do that. And cost wise, you have to get another intake, figure out that we got the head studs figured out, they're on the way, but I mean,
another intake, spacers, port match the intake. I mean, a lot of stuff.
Yep,
a lot of stuff. So we're gonna get this sucker together and get it in the car. And Small Walk Ford Nasty is gonna continue on.
He get to buy this round. John Doc got to buy this round. The Black Sheep on the property. He got to buy for the next round. 15 here.